Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, Tammy. I thought you had clicked that you weren't coming.
I thought I clicked I was coming. Who knows? It's been one of those days.
That's okay. That's all right. I just saw that you clicked that, and I was like, oh, bummer. So, oh, well, that's all right. I'm glad you're here. Yay. I'm having computer. I got my laptop up on a box. See if that'll work.
I'm here, but I'm not on Zoom.
Oh, okay. Well, we're glad you're here. Who said that?
It's Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi.
All right. And then, so Cassie and Tammy, not Tammy Sykes, but I don't know. I can't tell. It just says Tammy. Oh, hey, Tammy. So we can't see you. We can only see your name on the screen. If you hover and let's see. Oh, there you are. Hey, Tammy.
I was just hiding.
No, don't hide. I actually started to put, we don't care if you have your hair wrapped up in a turban. Just get on so we can say hi.
Well, that's good.
Yes, we don't care. No judgment. How are you, Sandy?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Doing good.
Good to see your face.
Well, thank you. Good to see you too.
All right, let's see. I know we've got some other people coming. There's Debbie. Hi, Debbie. Oh, Debbie, can you hear us? Debbie, can you hear us?
Yep, just adjusting my volume.
Good. Just making sure you could hear us.
Yep.
All right, so we are going to start because it is 7:01, and if anybody else joins us, they can just hop right on. So I am pretty excited about March. And it's kind of been crazy because I've been out of town for 2 weeks solid, which is very odd. And spring break in our area, half of them were last week and half of them are this week. And so it was kind of hard to mesh. Yeah, kind of crazy, hard to mesh with everybody's schedules. So we just decided to go on Zoom. And so typically Darla Cannon and I do our meetings together, but she's helping her mom move. And it's really kind of cool. Her mom is 90 or 90 something and is moving in with her sisters. So there'll be three sisters that are all in their 80s and 90s living together in a house. And I just think that's the coolest story ever. So yeah, so Darla.
That is so cool.
Isn't that cool? So yeah. Darla is helping her move, and so she's not going to be on. But I just thought, well, we'll just jump on. Whoever's here is here. And I know it's kind of last minute for some of you. And I apologize about that, but we'll get the recording for anybody who can't make it. It's being recorded. So just so you know, you're being recorded. Don't go crazy, get naked or anything like that. No dancing on the desktop without your clothes on. Make sure you're clothed if you start dancing. So anyway, for those of you that don't know me, although I think everybody knows me, my name is Terry Newberry. I'll just say that for the recording. And it is Tuesday, March the 13th. We're only 4 days away from St. Patrick's Day. And I always love this time of year with St. Patrick's Day and four-leaf clovers because one of my favorite sayings ever is that I find that the harder I work, the luckier I get. And, luck is really about how hard you work. And so it just seemed like the appropriate theme for us for this month. So new products are here. And how many of you own any of the new products? Oh, nice. Okay. What's your favorite new product so far?
The Quick Sickle.
The Quick Sickle Maker? It's pretty awesome. And rumor has it that it'll be available again shortly. They have started receiving shipments of the new improved one. And they seem really confident that that's easily worked out. So we'll keep our fingers crossed because we made some of those at our last local meeting. Tammy was here and it was pretty amazing. If you haven't seen it in person yet, I got to tell you, I was a little bit skeptical. I thought, what's the big deal? It's a popsicle maker. Those have been around a long time, but this is not what that was. Mm-hmm. It was really cool, wasn't it, Tammy?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Has anybody else seen it in person? Tammy, both Tammys have seen it. So yeah, it was really impressive. So watch for that. That'll come out. They'll announce that when it's available on the Tuesday. What do you call it?
Stir.
The stir, that's right. On the Tuesday stir, as soon as that's available, and hopefully it'll be within the next couple of weeks. So what other products do you like? Have you tested out any other products? Is
I
anybody
haven't-
tried the new cookware yet?
I do like the new nonstick executives ones, the 12 skillet.
The
I
12
did I did a dish on the top and then finished baking it in the oven and with the removable handle, and I was really impressed. I really was.
It is impressive. Has anybody used one of the hybrid skillets yet that has the stainless and the nonstick? Yeah. What do you think, Jackie? Pretty cool, huh?
It's good for searing.
It is awesome for searing. The flavor is so enhanced, and yet the cleanup is very, very easy. So I have a quick tip for you for the hybrid skillet. Oh, bless you, Sandy.
Sorry.
So I have a tip for you. My husband is in love with the hybrid skillet for making pancakes of all things. Because I know, I thought, well, he said, I'm going to try this for pancakes, and he was very determined about it. And he likes crispy edges on his pancakes. And sure enough, in the hybrid skillet, they come out crispy. So
Wow.
yeah, it's pretty cool. They brown just like you would expect them to, but unlike a stainless skillet, they don't stick when you flip them. So that's like his favorite new product. He wanted me to be sure to tell you all that. So so we're excited about the new products, but I want to throw an idea out here for you. Every year I do in February or March. Next week I'm going to do 2 customer appreciation kind of anniversary parties, and I invite a bazillion people. I literally invite everybody I know that lives within 100-mile radius of me, and it never seems to amaze me, or I'm always amazed, I should say, that the vast majority of the people here, the new products aren't what they're all that excited about necessarily, because since the last time they have been to a party, a lot of times 2 or 3 new batches of new products have come out. And so if you think about it, the new product announcements can be anywhere from 30 to 50 new products released, and they come out twice a year. So if someone hasn't been to a party in the last 2 years, that's 200 new products. It's a lot of products. So what's new to us and what's new to our customers can be 2 very different things. And what really gets people excited is not seeing what a new product is, but seeing how you can help them solve their kitchen dilemmas. Solution-based is what gets people in the room. So what I've noticed, and I think this is probably universal if you talk to a lot of experienced consultants, is that people like the idea of seeing the new catalog, don't they? If you put out there, who wants to see a new catalog, what happens? Me.
Everybody wants it.
Yeah, everybody wants a new catalog, right? But when they place an order, they don't necessarily order new products, right? They order what catches their eye. And also, what also happens is they order products based on a kitchen dilemma or a solution that you've offered based on seasonal cooking ideas. So this time of year, what kind of ideas do you think people are looking for when it comes to cooking? So think about this. We're at mid-March. And whether you live in Houston or whether you live in Ohio or Florida, California, wherever you live, Texas, of course, the seasons are changing. And even if they haven't actually changed, like Ohio got snow today, I saw. So even if it still feels like winter, people know that the first day of spring is only 2 weeks away. So what kind of kitchen dilemma do you have this time of year that we could help people with?
Fresh product.
Fresh vegetables, absolutely. Vegetables and fruits. The farmers markets are about to open, and people love the idea of going to the farmers market. They just don't know what to do sometimes when they get there. They don't know what to do with all the vegetables that they see. So that's a really great one. It's the time of year when spring vegetables are starting to come out. Carrots, for example, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, lettuce. What else is spring? What other vegetables and fruits scream spring to you?
Cauliflower.
Cauliflower?
Zucchini? Is that a spring vegetable?
What?
Is it zucchini?
I think zucchini, well, at least here, zucchini is more midsummer. But it'll be important. I mean, because we are, if you live in the South, midsummer starts about mid-May. So it's all relative. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we get things like fresh strawberries and stuff, even though they're not local. They're imported from either California or Chile. But, we are starting to get some more fresh fruits.
Yep. Strawberries and blueberries today. I saw a quart of blueberries for $3.19. And I'm going to tell y'all a little, a little known secret about me. I won't buy fresh fruit without, I shouldn't say, I won't buy very many kinds of fresh fruit without tasting it first. So I won't buy blueberries unless I taste them. I always open the package and eat them. So that's just who I am. Now, I will say that if I eat one and they're good, I'm buying that package. I don't put it down and get a new one. But I do eat the one that I taste from. But the blueberries were delicious. They tasted blue. Yeah, blueberries that aren't very good don't taste blue, like they taste kind of sour. These they tasted blue, and they were so good. So, so what we can offer people are ideas on how to use and take advantage of seasonal cooking, because there are a lot of studies done that we would all be healthier if we ate what was in season. And we would also, and our cooking would be more varied and more interesting, and it's just a great way to cook. So that is something that we can help people with. And we have the new recipes, the new Season's Best. Who has a copy of the new Season's Best recipe collection? Okay. If you don't, did you know you can find it online? Just go to Consultants Corner, and the Season's Best is there, and you can see all the recipes. It's a great way to send recipes to people when you print them with a recipe, or if you are going to do them at your cooking shows. It's a great way to send the grocery list to your host. And so there are some really good ones in there that feature new products. They feature time-honored products that everybody loves in their kitchens. But mainly what they feature are solutions for dinner time and seasonal cooking. And that's what really tempts people to book a party or to place an order, is when they see something that's inspiring to them and makes them feel like that we have something to offer, not only to them, but that their friends will want to come to the party in order to see the product. So thinking about that, what other kitchen dilemmas can we help solve this time of year? Think seasonal.
Well, I'm thinking about, people are going to start going to barbecues and going to picnics, and, they'll want to find dishes they can make easily, but yet bring to events like that, like church functions and stuff like that.
Excellent. That's great. And Wendy, I'm nodding while you're talking as if you can see me. So
it's okay.
I don't know if you can.
I'm talking with my hands as if you can see me. So
yeah, I don't know if you can hear the marbles rattling around in my head or not, but I am nodding. So that's fantastic. Actually,
hey Terry, can I suggest just kind of input this? I went to a baby shower this weekend, and I brought a vegetable tray. Now, it wasn't anything special. It was our cool and serve tray, but I had things like carrots and celery, broccoli, and something that wouldn't necessarily be seasonally in. But you know what? People that aren't used to eating fresh vegetables and fruits all the time, people were just going crazy and saying like, "Oh my gosh, these vegetables are so good." And it was just that they were real vegetables and really fresh.
Well, I think that is seasonal, Sandy, because I think that it's a time of year where people are serving that kind of food. And so I totally agree. I think that's a great, and it shows a great product too. Speaking of a great product that is very handy this time of year, that plays quite nicely into what Wendy was just saying, in terms of how people are cooking and what kind of side dishes they want. So that's perfect. So Sandy, you're making all of us jealous as you're drinking a glass of wine. That is like awesome. It gives me permission to take a sip of mine.
I was going to mention an idea, speaking of the cool and serve tray, that I recently started doing that I would talk about now when I talk about the spring stuff, is I actually use a large one and make myself like my own salad bar in my refrigerator. So when I want to make a salad, I can go in there and grab it and make a salad really quick, as opposed to having to chop everything up the whole time. So it's like makes it easy prep for, when it starts getting hot, people like to have salads as opposed to hot food, so And I started doing that, and I've been sharing that with people, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is a great idea," and I'll
That
show
is a
pictures
great
or whatever.
idea.
But
It's
so
also
I mean, it's just made me think of the Cool and Serve. That's all. Sorry, I sidetracked. Sorry.
No, I think that's awesome. That's fantastic. Along those lines, too, I want to kind of share some thoughts with you on how you can transition kitchen dilemmas and get people's attention by just taking simple pictures. And I think most of us are Facebook friends. If not, send me a friend message and I'll add you as a friend. So this evening, I just took a picture. I was about to cook dinner. I was pretty determined that we were going to eat dinner before 9 o'clock tonight, because whenever the time changes, it's like at 7 o'clock, I look out and go, oh, I guess I should start dinner. And then it's not ready till 9. And so today I started at 5, just knowing that we had this call tonight. And so I am in love with roasted carrots. I don't know if you've ever roasted carrots or not, but it's a whole new world in carrots. And so I love them so much that I could literally have them every night. I try to limit it to 2 or 3 times a week. I don't know why. I just because. And so I snapped a picture and put it on Instagram and Facebook. And I just did hashtag bunny food, nature's candy, love me some roasted carrots. Okay, that's all I did. And then I took a picture of it on the counter in the roasting pan with a little bit of salt and pepper. And maybe I put the salt and pepper mill where you could see it in the picture. And I posted that on Facebook. And within minutes, I had somebody, an old friend of mine from college, say, do tell, or tell me more. And I had 3 Facebook messages asking me why I used a metal roasting pan instead of a baking stone. Does everybody on here know why when you roast vegetables, you use a metal baking pan instead of a baking stone?
No.
Sandy, do you know? Sandy Christoph?
Yeah.
Tell 'em.
It gets hotter and it's more likely to be crispy, just like with your cookies.
It's exactly like with cookies. If you think about the way cookies roast on a baking stone, they're soft and chewy. And when you put them on a metal pan, they're crisper. And so it's because it has to do with how the sugar comes in contact with the metal pan. And what you want when you roast vegetables is the sugar to come out. That's what makes them so sweet. And so you want them to caramelize. So where they turn brown, they caramelize. Well, baking stones are in fact made not to brown. That's right. The nature of how they work. And so when you don't get that browning, you don't get that caramelization, which is what the browning is. It's the sugars. And so literally the difference in taste, if you roast vegetables side by side on a stone and a metal pan, they don't look the same and they don't taste the same. And so I was able to explain that. And guess what? 2 of them ordered a metal baking pan because they had baking stones, but not metal pans. So
Carrie, I never thought about it until you just said that, but it's kind of like the difference between nonstick and stainless steel skillets.
Yes, very much. Very much. And so if you, I just want to be, I've been to some training recently about like doing virtual parties, or not even that, just social media. And the kind of post that I made is what they're recommending you do, because it's not a hard sell. Let people come to you instead of you cramming it down their throats. And if someone wants a recipe, if you post the recipe in the comments, then there's no further conversation. If you send a private message, then you can make more of a conversation. And so, and I am making myself do Instagram because I am not an Instagram person, but Instagram. So this is an interesting fact for you. 80% of Instagram users are under the age of 35.
Oh, wow.
So if we want to reach the next generation of cooks, they're the ones that are equipping their kitchens. We got to get on Instagram, and we've got to make it a combination of food and let people see who we are, so that it's more personal. Okay. So, so that's just a thought for you, is next time you're making food, so you're doing some of these things we're talking about. So let's say that you went and you bought some strawberries and you're rinsing them in the stainless steel colander set. take a picture of it. Or you're slicing them with a simple slicer. And an example for the simple slicer, which simple slicer's not right. What am I trying to say? The one that you push down on?
Quick slice. Quick slice?
The quick
Quick
slice.
slice?
That, the quick slice. Okay, so I know. I realized what I was saying. I wasn't saying it right. So I always think of the quick slice as being the egg slicer on steroids. Because instead of doing 2 strawberries or 1 strawberry, you can do 6 strawberries. And so what we want to encourage you to do is to show a quick picture or do a 10-second video of how long does it take you to slice 6 strawberries. Boom, I can do it in 1 second. And so, and you don't have to, and you just say, and then hashtag it or make a comment, man, I love this thing, or slice strawberries in record time, or what have you. But the idea is that you want people to go, right? You want them to go, wow, and be inspired rather than you telling them what they should buy or shouldn't buy. It should be more about inspiration. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
And those of you that aren't comfortable being in front of the camera, I don't like it either. But I'm just here to tell you, we got to get over ourselves. And if you're not comfortable, then point your camera at the strawberries and then go woof, and I call it a guillotine for strawberries. Call it whatever you want to call it. But make it so that it's fun and you don't have to be in it at all. Does that make sense? Does that help a little bit?
Yeah.
And it can be just a quick picture. It doesn't have to be a 5-minute video. In fact, when they are, so I learned this recently at a retreat that I was at, and there was a consultant there who specializes in social networking. And she said that when they look at, like, so on Facebook or other social media where for retail purposes or for ad space, that all those videos that, like the tasty videos that only last 30 seconds or whatever, those are the most effective. That once you go over a minute, you lose half your viewership. When you go over 2 minutes, you lose 80% of your viewership. People stop watching. They don't watch. So if what you want them to see is at the very end and your video is 5 minutes long, guess what they're seeing?
Forget it.
This is what they're seeing. Well, we're going to wait just a minute for other people to join us. Okay, well, we're just going to wait a minute. Okay, well, so we're going to wait a minute. Let's see. I'm going to start here in a couple of minutes. People they're turned off. So show them what you want to show them and show it to them, boom, fast, 30 seconds at the most, and you're done. That's what the studies are showing are the most effective things, okay? So let's talk about what other things you can do to entice people to book parties. You want to talk about seasonal things. You want to talk about solution-based cooking or dilemmas in the kitchen that you can help solve. What else? Right now in March, why is a great time to book a party?
Somewhere.
Stoneware. Yay. Okay, so what's the deal with stoneware? Who knows?
60% off?
Tell us more.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what you're looking for. Sorry.
When you host a party, you can choose any piece at 60% off, right?
Yes.
Okay, so how many of you, as experienced Pampered Chef people, see or hear that special and go, I already have all the stoneware. People already have all the stoneware. Did anybody, that thought cross anybody's mind?
No.
Yay, good. Okay, I'm so glad. Okay, so we were on a leaders call earlier today, and Sandy was on it with me too. And one thing that was really interesting was that there's one person that was on the call who's in her 30s. And she had very interesting points of view about different things, which is awesome. That's why we need consultants of every age, every background, because you learn so much from people of different generations and backgrounds. And Sandy had a great idea about talking about the entertainment pieces and featuring those. Okay, I see heads nodding. Okay, Tammy, you love the entertaining pieces. I can tell you, your face lit up and you started nodding. Tell us about it. Why do you love them?
I never considered them stoneware. I don't know why, but I thought it was so neat that they included those. I'm a bowl collector. Some people are, plate collectors or whatever, trinkets. I collect bowls. It's crazy, but I love the fact you can cook in them, and then you can serve in them. They're just a very nice. Is it utilitarian style? I mean, they're very simple, and that's why I like them.
Excellent. And you know what? They have multi-use. So if you have a small kitchen, you can serve in it. You can put it in the dishwasher, so cleanup is easy. They stay hot for serving. Lots of reheating. You can reheat in them. And so, Sandy, tell us about what you were telling us about Bob and the appetizer that he prepared for the party that you went to. This is awesome, and it's really important.
Yeah, right. So my husband doesn't cook really ever. And this is my 25th year with Pampered Chef, so that's saying something. And he doesn't even know the names of everything. So anyways, but he decided that I was telling him when we got those stoneware platters, the entertaining platters, how they were supposed to be used and all that. So I wasn't going to be home until late one day, and we were going to be having some people over, and he decided he went to Costco, and when he goes to a store, he doesn't buy food. He buys maybe salt for the the water softener or something like that, but he doesn't feel responsible to have to buy food. So he came home with a frozen box of taquitos and decided that he himself was going to make an appetizer for this party. And his view of making an appetizer is open the box of taquitos, put them out on the tray, put them in the oven, take them out and put them on the table. So we've done that, I bet, 6 times. And that's what those platters are made for. Exactly that. So, and they're beautiful. We've used them for lots of other things too. But anyways, cooking on them.
I think the point there is that they're so useful for people who aren't big cooks, but are going to a party and need to take an appetizer, that we don't get so hung up on, first you do this, then you do this, then you do this, then you do that, and then you take it and voila, and it's gorgeous and wows the crowd. You open the box of frozen taquitos, you pour them on the entertaining stone, you put it in the oven, you take it out, and it stays hot for 45 minutes or 30 minutes. And it's beautiful.
And you go put it in the dishwasher.
Right. It's up in the dishwasher. So just a quick story for you along those lines. My daughter, who's in her 30s, when she got married 2 years ago, she said words emphatically, "I do not want any baking stones. I'm not registering for any baking." And I said, "What do you mean you don't want baking stones?" And she said, "If it doesn't go in the dishwasher, Mom, I don't want it." So fast forward 2 years later, my son gets married. He registers, through our Pampered Chef's website for stainless steel cookware. And I said, "So I'm kind of curious, how come you got the stainless steel cookware?" "Because you can put it in the dishwasher." So don't underestimate how, when you are looking at the next generation that's coming up in cooking, most of them are dual income. They are working all day. They're coming home. They are putting dinner on the table as fast as they possibly can. And they don't necessarily know how to cook. And so they want cooking classes. My niece, I asked her specifically which was the most, and she's 33 at the time. This is about a year ago. She was 32. And I said, "Okay, so if I were to offer you which one of these things would be the most appealing to you? Would it be a cooking party? Would it be a cooking show? Or would it be a cooking class?" And she said, without hesitating, a cooking class. And she said, Mom always cooked. I didn't have any interest in cooking until she started having babies. And now that she's a young mom, now she's interested in cooking because they don't have the budget to go out to eat as often. And she's trying to cook healthier with kids. And so she said, a cooking class, I would be all over that. And I said, "Well, tell me more about that. What would you be interested in?" And she said, "I just need to know how to cook." And so you want to think about that. What easy, fast recipes can we offer that feature seasonal fruits and vegetables. It's more about the cooking experience and what we have to offer them in terms of solution driven, classes or getting together and learning something, then it really, and letting them see how to do it. Cooking a chicken, for example, just the 30-minute microwave chicken in the deep covered baker. And so, I mean, that's a really impressive way to put dinner on the table and not have to watch the pot and not have to wait on the oven to heat up. That's another thing. So my son told me his favorite product is the grill pan. And I said, oh, well, tell me more. What are you cooking it? And you know what he said? I get it hot on the stovetop. I put chicken or salmon or he actually told me he did something last week. I can't remember now what it was that I would have never in a million years dreamed he would have cooked. And he said, I get a quick sear on it. I put the press down on it and I put it in the oven and then I don't have to stand and watch the stovetop. So, those are things to take into consideration, is that if it requires you to stand right by it. And I remember this very clearly when I first started cooking and I had little kids. I didn't like standing at the stovetop at 6:30 in the evening waiting on dinner to be done. I wanted it in the oven, in the crock pot, in some vessel that didn't require me to have to stand and watch the pot because I didn't want the kids under feet, and they were the bewitching hours, what I used to call it, or getting homework done or what have you. And so I thought that was an interesting, they were really all over that. So, and that plays in nicely with the baking stone special because they're microwave safe and people don't know they're microwave safe. So that's something that you can teach them. Okay. All right. What else? Oh, Sandy, tell them about your experience using the invitations from the website when you did your own party.
Well, I went into my history and pulled out, uploaded information into Excel and then uploaded it into the invite file like we encourage our hosts to do. And for a party that I was doing at my house in 10 days. So I gave them about 4 days, 5 days, and I sent text messages, started following up with people and making phone calls. I sent out 54 invitations and every single person I contacted had not seen the email invitation out of the host show file. So don't use it. Don't count on the fact that anybody is seeing that. It doesn't work, whether it goes into their spam folder or whatever. There isn't a single person. And the other thing that I was telling on our leaders call is, so now we send out as consultants, people get emails from us all the time. And so if you're hosting a party and sending an email like that, people aren't reacting to it, like they're probably thinking it's some sort of, maybe it's recipes or ideas or what's on special, and they're not reacting to it urgently, importantly, it's important today. Even if it's going into their right file, they're not looking at it right away. So yeah, I told Terry, it's like, wow, don't even think that that's a method of communicating. Don't encourage your hosts to use it. It's not doing anything.
Right. It's not really functional. So text messaging is really the best way to go because
it is sending. Don't misinterpret. It is sending, but it's not connecting.
Right. People aren't opening them. They're not seeing them. And a text message is so much more personal, and it is the way that most people communicate now. And so sending a personal text message that is very personalized. Okay. So in the text message, whether it's an invitation or whether it's a reminder or both, you want to mention what dilemma you're going to help solve, right? So we're going to get together and take advantage of some of these awesome spring vegetables. I have got some great, I'm going to do fill in the blank and then ask the question that you want the answer to. Can you come next Tuesday at 7:00 or at 6:30 or whatever? Will you be here? Or I will often say, and any of you that are local, and I'm talking to you, Tammy, know that my reminders almost always say, because it's from my heart, it's how I feel, please tell me you're going to be here. but don't leave it at please tell me you're going to be here, because that's passive, right? You need to ask a direct question. So please tell me you're going to be here. Are you coming? Question mark. You still want to end with a plea for them to come. It's important to me to come. I'd love to see your face. I'd love to hug your neck. I'd love to, we're going to have so much fun. Will you be here? You have to ask the question. And when you phrase it like that, nobody feels pressured. Nobody has ever told me they felt pressured. And those are the words that I give my host to use too. Okay. So we're almost out of time. We really are out of time. Yes, Jackie?
I have a question with Red Stamp leaving. What texting program or app should we now be using? Because Red Stamp is shutting down at the end of the month, and I'm losing my texting wonderful invites that I've been sending out. What do you suggest that we use?
Well, you can use Canva. You can use, what is the PicMonkey is actually, I think PicMonkey is easier to learn, but Canva does more. And I often just use my phone. Like I take a picture and superimpose writing right on top of it from my phone. My phone, what kind of phone do you have? Do you have an iPhone or an Android?
I do have an iPhone.
The iPhone is really easy to edit pictures and put text right on top of a picture.
You know what, Jackie? I would suggest for you to go to Canva, because you're good at that stuff, and there are lots of YouTube videos on how to use Canva. And I just did a half-hour thing that Cindy Johnson hosted, a little class on Canva the other day, and I think it does a lot of what Red Stamp does, like as if you could take multiple pictures and all that kind of stuff. I would suggest for you personally to go to Canva.
Okay.
The less comfortable you are with computers, the more I say just use your phone or use, or put text right on it. The more, and then I think that PicMonkey is somewhere in the middle. And then I think Canva, while there's a learning curve, it does a lot. It does a lot.
What I found with Red Stamp was I wanted to use more words than it would allow sometimes. Did you ever feel that way? That you wanted to use, that you needed more text area or something?
I tried to keep the texting down. The whole point was to say hello. Most of it was, hello, I'm having this. Do you want to come?
Right.
Because it's a text and you want it quick.
But if you were using it as an invitation where you might want to use an address or a little teaser about the recipe or something like that, and you can do that, and you can do multiple pictures, and you can do grids and all that kind of stuff. The challenge would be to keep it simple.
Yeah. And so within that training that I went to on social media, this is a really good tip for all of us to remember, is that, and she said a percentage, I don't remember what it was, but it's a big percentage of people that check Facebook. I forget the number, but it is astonishingly high. Do it from their cell phones. And so the one thing that you can do is create a group that you're the only person in the group, or you have one other person in the group, or you do an event where you haven't added anybody to the event yet, and put things that you are working on, like an invitation or a picture, in that group or in that event, and look at it on your phone so you know what it looks like when people are checking it on their phones.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and because that is often looks very different than what you think it looks like. And I noticed that today when I was changing the cover photo on our group. It looked very different on my phone than it did on my computer. So that was one really helpful tip is to send the picture to yourself as a text, or put it in a Facebook group or event that's just a dummy group or a dummy event that has an open-ended, or and then you can see what it looks like when someone's opening it with their phones. So I like that a lot. So one more thing for you, if you are thinking and you're kind of a little bit like not sure about kitchen dilemmas or kitchen solutions and how do you even start and where do you go, I have the solution. How many of you have gone onto our website and you've done the training and you've looked at the new party packs that were just introduced 2 weeks ago? Tammy's nodding her head, lots of head nodding. Okay.
Yes.
all of those party packs are based on Kitchen Solutions. Every single one of them. Mealtime prep, one pot meal solutions, they're all based on the way that people cook today. And so that would be something, if you haven't done it yet, I challenge you to do it ASAP. You have to, before you can access those party packs, you have to go into Consultants Corner and you have to do the party experience training.
Mm-hmm.
I was on a pilot program for the virtual party training, so I had already done that training, but it was 3 months ago. And so last week I decided I wanted to do it again along with the live party training. And I also wanted to time it, see how long it took. It took 23 minutes for one of them and 22 minutes for the other, just watching them back to back to back to back. But you don't have to watch them back to back. They vary anywhere from about 4 minutes to 4 minutes and 45 seconds per segment. And so if you, like, Sandy Roden, if you're at work and you're taking a break and you just have a 10-minute time slot where you could watch them, you could watch 2 of them, and then the next day when you come back, it remembers where you were. It shows you that they're checked off. So it's not like if you don't watch them all at once, you're sunk. That's not it at all. It remembers where you are. And you don't have to print out the certificate unless you just like having that printed out. It'll say, view your certificate here, and you can actually see the certificate, but you don't actually have to print it out in order to get access to the party packs. But they are pretty phenomenal. I mean, they are really awesome. So any questions about that? Does everybody understand about the party packs?
I really haven't explored them yet, so I will do that.
They're really cool, Sandy. And you know what? I watched them from my phone. So they really are easy to access if you need to do it from your phone or a mobile device, like on your break or at lunchtime or something.
Okay, good.
I also suggest going and using their, was it once a week that they've had Mary out there doing question and answer through Zoom, and I've used it twice, and it's been very helpful, either answering questions or she actually goes out there and shows you what to do. Very, very helpful.
I haven't done that yet. I'm glad you reminded us of that. I forgot about that. It's a virtual, what do they call it? A virtual training?
Question and answer or something. I'm not really sure what it is, but they've had it. The first couple of weeks they had it like every couple of hours, and now they're doing it just once a week, like from 10 to 2 or something like that. But it's been real helpful. And you can come and go as you want, get your question answered, and then leave. So, but it's been real good.
I'm glad you reminded us of that. I forgot about that. So, and that information is right there on, Consultants Corner. So, okay. All right. So we could go on and on. What do y'all think about this? You want to do it on a regular basis?
Sure.
All right. Do you like this format? Do you like the Zoom format?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. You just have to get over seeing yourself on the thing. Just don't even, we don't care.
I look at everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly the way to think about it. Just look at everybody else. Don't look at yourself. Totally get that. So,
we all need a glass of wine.
there you go. Sandy has led the way. Now we know we all need to just have a bottle and a straw or a glass, whatever.
I like the straw.
All right. Excellent, everybody. Thank you for sharing. And I will post the recording here. I know you were all here live, but for people who already had a party planned, we certainly did not want them to cancel, not a party, but a cooking class. We did not want them to. So anyway, so if you have any questions, Virtually Unstoppables, put it out there, get ideas. We're just always happy to help. And I think we all learn so much from each other when we do that too. I get so many that way. So
definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so excellent. Very good. Have a great, wonderful evening, and thanks for joining us, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you.
Here, quick question.
Oh, yeah, who has a question?
I'm sorry, it's Wendy. How do if I posted and several of my consultants couldn't make the training, how can they, when they go back to listen to it, is there a specific number they put in? Because when I did it, like to log in just for the actual thing tonight, it asked me for a number to hit pound. But is there going to be? Are you going to post something to where
Yes.
there'll be a playback?
Yeah, there'll be a playback, and I'll post it on Virtually Unstoppable. So make sure that your team
Okay.
is all on Virtually Unstoppables. As you recruit people, anybody can add people to Virtually Unstoppable. So as you are recruiting, be sure to add them to that Facebook group as well as your local team group or your personal team group. Okay? Awesome.
Okay, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Bye, Wendy. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.